Gods and goddesses are not God. How many heads are there? Why we worship idols? The Nirvana worshippers suffer. I don't want burn me fire from the village, and then I will answer your question. This and ordered a picture of the Maharaja to be bought and asked King's Devan to spit on it. Only going to a temple brings purity to the mind. Well, there is no people in the world who do not use idols, symbols or signs in their worship. A statue is a symbol of an ideal, a symbol of truth. And worship is when people invoke that power of God with special reverence. First of all, it needs to be said that polytheism has no place in Sanatan philosophy, but we believe in monotheism. According to Sanatan scriptures, God is one and unique. Gods and goddesses are not God. God is called Nirguna. That is, He is the source of all the qualities of the world. The Almighty God can possess any quality and manifest that quality. Gods and goddesses are the manifestation of God. Hence, the various forms of God's energy are Kali, Navadurga, Kartika, etc. The various forms of Vidya Siddhi are Saraswati, Ganesh, etc. The various forms of wealth are Lakshmi, Kuber, etc. And the various forms of death are Kal Bhairav, Bhutnath, Yama, etc. Similarly, when God creates, He is Brahma. When observing, He is Vishnu, and Shiva when destroy. And when He gives light, He is the sun and the moon. If we see the image of Lord Sri Krishna's Vishwarupa, then we will understand it very easily. As many heads as Sri Krishna's Vishwarupa have, each head expresses one deity, that is one quality of God. Now the question is, how many heads are there? Arjun said here that Sri Krishna's universal form had no limit, means it had no beginning and no end, means infinite. And this is the biggest proof of God's Nirguna. Because the number of God's quality is infinite, that is Nirguna. That's why it is said that God is Vishnu, He is Brahma and He is Shiva, like this. So now we understand that there may be many gods and goddesses, but God is one. And these gods are the different form of this Supreme Brahma. Now the question is, why we worship idols? Why? Well, human mind is fickle by nature. In this earthly world, our restless mind is bound by various desires. We cannot be freed from this desire, and this fast-moving mind is controlled and fixed through these various forms of Shagun God, and it helps to immobilize the fickle mind. That's why only going to a temple brings purity to the mind, calms the mind, and awakens devotion in mind. But God is present in everywhere. So why does only going to a temple bring more devotion to the mind? In this context, you will understand better if we talk about an incident of Swami Vivekananda. The traveler Swami Vivekananda was then the guest of the Maharaja of Alwar. Alora Raj informed Swamiji about the matter that he does not believe in idol worship. Swamiji heard this and ordered a picture of the Maharaja to be bought and asked King's Devan to spit on it. The entire royal court watched this scene in silence. Devan was unable to follow Swamiji's instructions. Then Swamiji said, "This picture is just a piece of colored paper. This picture is not the king anymore. So where is the problem in spitting on it?" Despite Swamiji's repeated order, Devan could not spit on the Raja's picture. Swamiji then explained it to the king and said, "Photograph is an inanimate object, just a piece of colored paper. But this picture reminds us of the real man. Looking at the picture, we don't think we are just looking at a painted paper." Similarly, when we worship clay idols, we think that we are worshipping God Himself. We never think at that time that we are worshipping an inanimate idols or clay or straw. We think of the deity as a mere symbol and nothing more. That is why during puja, the worshipping Brahmins give life to the idol by reciting mantras. If you translate the Sanskrit mantra, you will understand that The mantra is only requesting that form of Supreme God in various ways to be placed in that climate. Again, the wooden idols are not those gods. If the idols were considered to be all those gods, then surely no one would have immersed them in water after worship. Those who worship the formless Nirguna Brahma also attain God. But the Nirguna worshippers suffer more, I think, because it is difficult for people to focus their mind on formless Brahma. But it is relatively easy for people to fix their mind on Shakara Bhagwan, and the idols fulfills the needs of this form of God. Now I am going to tell you about another incident of Acharya Ramanuja. One day, a faithless person came to Acharya Ramanuja. He asked Acharya, Brahma is all over the world. So then why have you kept so many small brass idols to worship him? Acharya said him, I need fire to light my dhuni. So bring me fire from the village and then I will answer your question. After a while, the man appeared with fire in a log. Acharya asked him, why did you bring a piece of burnt wood? Bring what I said. I said fire, bring fire. Fire is in everything. Rub your hands together. There is fire in your hands too. You bring some kindling fire. I don't want burnt wood. Hearing Acharya's word, the man said, the fire is in all things. But to bring it to you, I see no other way than wood. Then Acharya said, if I want to bring fire that is inherent in all things, I see no other way than a stick. Similarly, I see no way but to impose an idol to bring that form of all-embracing, all-pervading Supreme Brahma closer to me. The wood in your hands was wood earlier, but after catching fire in it, became fire. Similarly, the idol near me was once a brush idol, but now it is chin. God has given freedom to everyone. So if one wants to worship any deity for material enjoyment, then the Supreme Lord, who exists as Supreme Soul in everyone's heart, give them all the facilities to worship all those deities. So, Sanatanis have freedom to worship idols because in Sanatan religion, God is worshipped in both material and formless form. Namaskar.